Hey, what is going on, everyone? In today's video, I want to show you everything that I know about fishing in Once Human. So we're going to go over everything from crafting a fishing rod to crafting bait to finding a few different bait formulas and recipes, also how to fish, obviously, and then a few other fishing related things that I think are useful to know. Now, I've received a good amount of questions on how to fish in this game, and I think those questions are warranted. It really does have a bit of a learning curve, learning how to fish, and I think it could be better. But this is the current state of the fishing system in Beta 3. And if this video does end up helping you out, definitely drop a like down below and leave a comment. I would love to know, what has your experience been with fishing in this game, and what would you do to improve the system? So first off here, let's just talk about crafting a fishing rod. You're going to go to your supplies workbench. Doesn't matter what level the workbench is. You can just hop right in there, search for fishing, and you'll see that there's a fishing rod here. It's 20 logs and 10 copper ingot. I don't believe there's a durability to the fishing rod, so I don't think it'll ever break. So I just leave mine in my backpack, and I just take it out whenever I need to go fishing. And then you're also going to be able to search for the word bait here. Now, the basic bait that you're going to have and you're going to start out with is the dough fish bait. This requires 1 corn, so you'll easily be able to grow this at your base or just find corn in the world and create some dough fish bait. You can also purchase this at pretty much every dock where you're going to be going fishing. So if you want to purchase it for Energy Links, you're more than welcome to. Same goes for a few other bait types here as well. We have mince bait. We kind of have this like artificial kind of lure bait here, bait with mixed spices, and then there's another bait that you can get from a deviation that I'll explain in just a second. But you might be thinking, what is the difference between all these different bait types? And to be honest, I don't really think there is. Now, if you know any different, definitely leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if there is a difference between all these different baits other than what you have to spend to craft them. But as far as the descriptions go, it's pretty general. It doesn't really tell you if it attracts a certain type of fish, or this says it attracts carnivorous fish. I haven't really noticed a trend with that. I'm sure if I did a ton of fishing, I'd be able to put together some trends and correlations. But I've done some research and I haven't really figured out, is mince bait better for a certain type of fish than the regular bait? I honestly don't really know. So my recommendation and what I do is I just bring a bunch of dough fish bait and also just the regular lure bait here. It's pretty easy to make. And then there's also another type of bait called a wind-up tadpole. So this is actually something you get from a deviation. This is the frog deviation here. You'll see on the right side, it's generating some wind-up tadpole consumables for me. This does say it attracts the most carnivorous aquatic life, but again, I don't know really what type of fish that's bringing in. I've used it before. I brought in everything from like northern pike to the electric eel to like just a bunch of random things. It honestly seems kind of random. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of streamline and improve this system and just bring a little clarity to what the different types of bait do. But this is a really easy bait type to get because this thing is just going to generate it all the time. I actually have about 900 of them in my backpack, so I probably don't even need to visit this deviation that often because I don't think I'm going to be casting 900 times anytime soon. But these are the different types of bait that you can get in the game. There might be some more that I just haven't experienced yet, but again, I don't know if there's a huge difference between the different bait types, so I'm just going to be using dough fish bait in this video. Now, if you are interested in getting this deviation, you can actually head right over to the northeast side of the map, right underneath East Blackfell Junction. You'll notice there's a little lake right here. I'll put these coordinates down below. Once you go to this spot, you'll notice that the deviation is floating right there. You can try to claim it. I think you get like 3 chances to try to claim it. I got it on the first try, so hopefully it's pretty easy to get. There's also a weapon attachment right here, a little puzzle where if you jump on some lily pads in the water, you'll be able to unlock that weapon attachment. So little bonus there as well. All right, so let me show you how to exactly fish in this game. So I'm at Myers Market right here. There's a dock just south of it. I like going to Myers Market because there's a bunch of produce around there that you can just pick up, including corn, so you can easily make the dough fish bait at your base. But then if you go over to this dock right here, you'll see there's a little fisherman vendor. Go to the shop, and this is where you'll be able to buy this bait recipe, this like artificial bait lure right here. You'll be able to buy that formula so you can actually make it back at your base. You can also buy some dough fish bait here if you would like to. And then we're just going to go out to the dock and get to fishing. So first thing you're going to want to do is take out your fishing rod. So if I just hit that in my hotbar right there, you take it out, but then you still have to left click to fully get the fishing rod out. And then you're going to want to just equip some bait. So once you equip bait, you won't actually have to keep equipping the bait every time you cast. This is a new change in Beta 3 compared to Beta 2, which is a really great quality of life change. But if you do want to switch bait as you're fishing, you'll just have to hit R again and choose a different bait type. So I'm going to choose dough fish bait. You can see it in the bottom right there. And I think this is really where it gets confusing for a lot of people, because there's some overlapping stuff in the bottom because it's a beta, and then there's that weird marquee text. I'm not really sure why they have it laid out like this. I think it could be a lot easier. But essentially, the top bar is your struggle bar. So that's basically, if that top bar gets filled up, that means you've caught the fish. If you did not fill that bar up, that means you're probably going to lose the fish. And then the bottom bar is the tension of your line. So you basically don't want that tension to go all the way to the left, because if it does, that means the line will snap. So the idea here when you're fishing is to you're just moving your mouse left and right while holding down left click. But you want to go in the opposite direction that the fish is going, but you don't want to go too far because you don't want the line to be too tight, and you don't want to, not have enough on it where you're not really reeling it in. So let me give you an example. I'm going to just fish right here, see what we can catch. So the bobber is going to sit in the water for a second. It will pop up once there's a fish nibbling on it. You have 5 seconds to left click to get that fish. And then I'm just going to hold down left click, and I'm going to just move left or right until the top bar in the bottom right fills all the way up. So this one's moving to the right, and it's going to fill it up right there. And there we go. We've just caught the northern pike. So that fish right there was swimming aggressively to the right. So that's why I almost lost it right there for a second. But then I just moved my mouse aggressively to the left, and it was able to reel in the fish. So if I do another one right here, as an example, you can see it's using another dough bait there, so I don't actually have to equip the dough bait every time, which is really nice. You're basically just, it is pretty sensitive, so you just kind of want to, you don't want to be too drastic with your movements, but you also want to be deliberate with your movements as well. So let's see, you're going to bring in the fish here any second now. This fish is moving to the left, so let's see if we can get that one. I think I screwed this one up. And no, we got it. There it is. We got it. So all I did was kept holding to the right there, and you saw that bar fill up. Essentially, if that bottom bar, if that collapse and like flaccid bar right there for the tension of your line, if that depletes fully, you only have a few seconds of recovery. And if you don't recover within that time, it snaps the line and you lose the fish. So let's just do one more for good measure here. Drop in the water right here. Also, fishing in this game is super peaceful. I really do enjoy fishing overall in the game. I just think the system could be cleaned up a little bit. So here we go. We've got it biting on the line here. I'm moving to the right. Yeah, that bar's filling up real quick. I'll stay right here, and there we go. Easy peasy. We've got a sea bass. So that is how you fish in the game. Pretty straightforward. You will actually have a chance to get the eel deviation when you're fishing. I found it mostly, to be honest, in the ocean. I found a lot of eel deviations in the ocean. You can see I have a bunch right here, the electric eel. And this is a really great deviation to get because it will actually give you a boost for your solar generator. So you'll actually have more power at your base. I have a few of them running at my base right now. So I recommend to definitely go try to get some electric eels. Like I said, I found them mainly in the ocean, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one right here. But that is a little bonus that you can also get. Now, occasionally on the map, you will see this party event pop up called Surge of Fish. This is a fishing event on the map. You can teleport directly to it without spending any energy links, which is pretty cool. I've actually used it a few times to get near areas near the fishing event without actually doing the fishing event because it's a free teleport. But when you see this pop up, you'll see it right here as well. You can just click right on it. It will bring you right to it. You can teleport there, and you'll find a dock. This goes through all the different docks really in the game. You'll see that there is a vendor here. You can hop over to the vendor, see what they're selling. They're actually selling the Northern Pike blueprint here, so if you don't have that melee weapon, feel free to pick it up. It costs 5 Northern Pike to get. You also get some formulas here. This is where I got the mince bait formula. It was 200 energy links. And then you also have pre-bait, which essentially kind of attracts fish to the area. You can kind of throw it down and it will attract fish to the area. And then you also can just buy bait right here too. You don't really need to get the formulas, but I always recommend getting them so you can craft and just be ready as soon as you get here. But you can also buy some bait here as well. And then over in the fishing event, you'll notice the water looks a little bit different here. There's like some stuff coming out of the water. Essentially, this fishing event has a higher chance to catch some rare fish. So you'll see that up in the top left. It actually kind of says that right there. And if I go back to the vendor here, you'll notice that there's a large yellow cichlid and a large blue cichlid. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. They actually cost 5 of themselves to get them. So I don't know exactly how hard this is to do. I actually haven't been able to do this. Even at these fishing events, I haven't been able to get a lot of rare fish here, but I do get a little bit more than normal. But yeah, all you have to do is fish directly in that area, and you should have a chance to get some more rare fish. And you also have a timer up in the top left, so we've got 9 minutes left in this event, so you can try to maximize the amount of fish you catch in that amount of time. And that pretty much sums up fishing in Once Human. So we went over how to craft a fishing rod, how to get different types of bait, as well as how to actually fish. It is a little bit finicky. And then you guys saw the fishing event, which is, it's a lot of fun to go there. I think it could be a little bit better too and a little bit more rewarding. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to drop a like down below. And like I said earlier, leave a comment. I would love to know, what has your experience been with fishing in this game? At first I was a little frustrated with the fishing because I didn't fully understand it, but now that I kind of understand it, it definitely is a better experience for me overall, but I do think there is room for improvement. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.